Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out a 2020 Toyota Corolla in the XSE trim level. This Corolla is sitting on 225/40 Yokohama tires, wrapped around 18-inch alloy wheels with a dark gray finish. It also has 4-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Blue Crush Metallic. And we have a nice sunny day today, so hopefully you can see what the color looks like here. So looking in the front, all LED lights up front. A lot of accents, mostly accents. The headlights are actually powered by LEDs and a projector tube for your low and your high beams. You can see it has a gloss black bezel there. But the rest of the lights, they're all more or less accent lighting. The daytime running lights are also in the projector tube as well. So it has all these little accent lights that are mostly visible at nighttime, but you can barely see them during the day. So the grille is like a granite or a dark gray in color, gloss finish. And it extends down here, so you can see it goes around and down under here. Not really noticeable in a black vehicle, but you can see it here in this blue. Then you have this gloss black portion just under the emblem. Kind of solidifies the headlight system, or the headlights, puts them all together, I guess you can say. Looking at the profile, you can see the handles are body colored, the side mirrors are also body colored, the upper portion. Now the lower portion of the side mirrors also, right in here, the pillars are blacked out with a matte black. But this portion down here is actually the gray, just like in the front and on the wheels. This is what the key looks like. It's a proximity key system, and you could just keep it in your pocket, use the vehicle 100%. It does have some useful buttons though, lock, unlock, the ability to open up the trunk, and a panic button. So let's go ahead and push that trunk button and see what happens. Okay, so it goes about halfway up. Not all the way up, but that's still pretty good that it opens it for you. And the panic button. So there's the horn. Now, as long as you have the key with you, you can keep it in your pocket, in a bag. As long as it's within a close proximity of the outside of the door, you can lock and unlock the door. And this is on the driver and passenger. There's a little sensor right in here indicated by those two lines. That's how you lock it. So you can put your finger or your hand over it, and it senses your hand, it locks the vehicle. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle and it unlocks the vehicle. Now it also has a physical key location right here on the driver's side only. The blind spot indicators are here on the side mirrors. And taking a look on the inside of the passenger side door, now it's mostly black on the inside. It does have a little stitching right in here in blue. You also see that stitching in the seats and stuff. I'll show you that in a second. And then you have a metallic accent that kind of swoops up. Looks pretty nice. Now it's flat black, soft touch here, and then you have the hard touch surfaces down at below. Gloss black right in there around your controls, which is interesting. You can get fingerprints all over it. Then you have a bottle holder and a storage space under here. There's a threshold. Manually adjusted seats. Now it has a combination of a synthetic leather here and then a cloth there in the center. It's like a microfiber cloth, ribbed with some color blended in. Then you have the stitching. You have even a French design stitching right out here. And a little bit bigger bolsters than the average vehicle there on the sides. There's the floorboard. Mostly wide open space. You can see there's a little bit of a shift, but just mostly wide open and flat here on the floorboard. The dash, soft touch here and here. It's kind of like a rubbery type soft there at the top and here. And I like the way they had that kind of metallic accent running across here, and then it kind of swoops around. Looks pretty neat. take a look at the glove compartment. So it's a smooth plastic on the inside, pretty standard size. The back door has a similar styling, less of the metallic accents. It also has less soft touch. So you have soft touch here on your arm, but not here. All that's hard touch, and then you have a smaller pocket. You do have a little place to put some stuff there. Of course, it's surrounded by gloss black, so wherever you put your hand, it seems like they put the gloss black there. Okay, so the back seat, basically a bench seat with the same styling as the front, the combination of cloth and synthetic leather. Latch seats for the car seat. So you have the latch system. It's isofix or latch, whatever you want to call it, but it does have these little doors that are removable, so you don't want to lose those. You want to make sure you put them away if you take them out. Then your armrest and cup holders, you can move those up out of the way. About a halfway hump there in the center, but it is flat on top, and a little storage pocket. And there's also a pocket here on the back of this passenger seat, but not the driver's seat. Okay, so let's go ahead and get inside. Now the door width, I mean, as far as it swinging open, and the opening is really nice. And let's go ahead and get it in. Just a slight duct to get in. And so there I'm in, and let's see how far back the seat is. So there's the seat all the way back, and that's kind of far back. That's really far back. So let's pull it up. So match the floorboard here with the angle of my feet to be comfortable. This is a hard touch surface here. Yeah, this is nice. I can reach the armrest. I do have to pull it up a little bit to kind of make it more comfortable for me. This nice contour handle, I like that. So there's a lot of articulation in the seat. I mean, a whole bunch. These are heated seats, by the way. There's a controls. It just has a high and low 2-stage. All right, so let's try the back. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit in the back with the seat all the way back, but let's try it. So you can see the door smaller, the opening smaller. The door swings out slightly less, I guess. It kind of looks like it does slightly less. Maybe it's just the size of the door. But let's see if I can fit in here. By the way, I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea. So, getting in. All right, yeah, okay. So yeah, I can actually get back here with the seat all the way back, and that has a tremendous amount of room there in the front. And the back's tilted a little bit as well. So I can access this pocket. Now if I put my knees straight forward, then I'm touching the seat, but still it's soft. So it's not a big deal really. If I had to really sit like this for a time, I could do it. But I'd, you know, pretty much go like this. And the headrest doesn't really get too much in the way. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and shut the door. Armrest is good. Now let me scoot in the middle, if I can. Okay, so now my head is touching the top. So got a little bit of an issue with headroom now. Before it was fine, but I'm still okay. I guess I could sit here on a very short trip or something. But I can access, see, I move my head around, it messes up, it scrapes. But anyways, I can access the driver and passenger and get on their nerves or whatever. But I do have to straddle this hump in the center. It is kind of in the way. So me sitting in the back obviously is going to cause a problem with other people being back here, especially if I'm sitting in the middle. So let me go ahead and sit, in a more normal position for somebody my size on this side. So same deal as far as that goes. This seat's a little bit further up, so I have a little bit more room, so that's good. Now I'm noticing these aren't really big pockets. They're just basically a place to put a bottle like sideways in there. Not really that big of a pocket. It's not really a pocket. Okay, but anyways, there's the opening, and duck my head and I can get out. So you can see the headroom's fine, but the seat being up, elevated there in the center, is just enough to make my head touch in the center. So looking at the back, it does have the shark fin antenna there, body colored. The third brake light is here at the base of the glass, powered by LEDs. And check out this little deck lid spoiler. It's the same gray that we saw in the front, sides, and also the wheels. So you have a combination of LED and standard bulbs back here. You have a little bit of gloss black kind of connecting them together, and more of that. It's kind of like a elongated honeycomb pattern there in the back, and you have a dual or a double pipe there for the back muffler. Looks pretty cool. Now the backup camera is offset significant. Well, no, it's just kind of offset right here. It's enough to make a difference. You have the button over here and then that there, so interesting. So the button's offset and the camera's offset, and then you have LED lights for your tag lights. Okay, so here's the trunk space, and looks pretty good to my eyes. I'm gonna have all the dimensions and specs and everything in the description, but yeah, looks pretty good, nice and wide open. It does have some exposed wires, exposed metal back here with some stuff going on, and then you can fold the seats down too to add to your cargo space if you need to. Under here is a spare tire and tools. There's your tools and there's your spare tire. It has a locking fuel door, and it's on the driver's side. Has a traditional cap, tether, and a place to hang the cap when you're pumping gas right there. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle to start it up, you just put your foot on the brake and push this button right here. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now you notice the floor mats are not in place yet, but they do hook in place, so that way they don't slide around on you. You see the little places right there. There's your accelerator and brake pedal up there, and footrest. Let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the right of center. You just reach in, move it to the left, and lift up. So you can see it's right there. And the hood doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's easy to lift up. It does require a prop to hold it open, and it's under the hood. You swing it down and put it right there. So you can see there's some insulation on the underside of the hood. There's seals across the back and the front. Kind of helps with airflow as well as noise. Now the engine is not covered up with a big plastic cover, which is kind of nice. I like to see the engine. I like to see all the different details of it. Now it has the battery over here. It's easy to get to. Strut towers are braced in with the unibody structure of the vehicle. It also has insulated firewall, and so you can see some heat shielding hopefully back there as well, because the exhaust is back there. You have your intake here in the front, and you can actually see the coil packs across the top of the engine head. Now it's a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder engine paired to a CVT automatic transmission. And I'll put all the specs and all the details and all the specifications, measurements, details, all that in the description, and you can check all that out at your leisure. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you have one touch up and down here for the driver, and the rear glass too. So you can push it, it goes all the way down. You notice it sinks down in there. It goes all the way up by one touch. Door lock controls are here. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with like a little joystick. So the driver has power seats, so they're able to go up and down and back and forth, and it's like a dentist chair. You can tilt it. And then this is the back portion tilt. Then you also have a two-way lumbar adjustment. Here to the left of the steering column, there's a dimmer switch for your interior gauges. Also, it has automatic high beams. That's nice. Tilt and telescoping steering column that you lock in place here, and the latch is easy to find and easy to use right there. So sitting in the driver's seat, checking it out, you can see the dash kind of protrudes out, but it has this tapering there, so kind of feel like you're not so pushed up against. Now the screen, some people have issue with the screen high up, and I understand what they're talking about, but and that was my initial reaction as well when vehicles started putting screens up high. But it's kind of a way of looking at things, just like a speedometer. It's an easy, quick glance. Okay, so it's not something that you're going to be distracted by. I mean, look at it. It's nothing. It's not a flashing billboard or anything like that. That's the kind of distractions people have to deal with. This is just a screen that has access to, say, the clock or something. You have the clock down here, you have the speedometer here, you have the screen there. It's just easy to look at when it's there. Okay, so sitting in the driver's seat, I have the let's go ahead and put the seat, yep, all the way back and all the way down, so give you an idea of the legroom here. Now, surprisingly, I do have a little bit of extra legroom. I probably would just move it up just an inch or two more, just to match up with the footrest. Now, the footrest is pretty good size, but it does kind of have a little spot there at the top that's a little bit too small for my foot, but I can reach the pedals just fine, and the knee room's great. So the steering wheel, it's a nice thick leather wrap steering wheel, soft to the touch. I like the thickness. At the bottom is thicker than the top. Not sure why that is, but it's just very functional. Has paddle shifters here on the back and extends from here to the top, and here on the sides are kind of hidden from your view right now, but it's nice, feels really comfortable. Now, the cruise control is here on the right side, and it's the adaptive cruise control, so you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you here. And once it's turned on, you can resume, set, and all that stuff, as well as change the speed in front of you. It also has the lane tracing assist, in which will actually turn the steering wheel to keep you from leaving your lane. Here on the left side, this right here is correspondence with the screen between the gauges. I'll get to that shortly. Volume for your radios here, voice recognition, mode, that's your audio source, and change to your radio station or audio track here. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side, turn signals here on the left, but you also have your headlight controls. So you have daytime running light off, automatic, parking, and then you can turn it on manually. Okay, so the gauges, check out that nice blue. Now, the blue kind of matches the exterior of the vehicle, which is pretty cool. But it has the speedometer, big speedometer there in the center. And then you have your RPMs there on the left side, and then your engine coolant temperature and your fuel gauge here on the right side. Nice digital clock, and it has the little indicators right there showing you what features are active. I liked also it has the electronic parking brake. You can see it says park, letting you know that that's engaged. And actually the setting right now is when you put it in park, it engages automatically, and then when you take it out of park, it disengages automatically. So that way, when you're actually parked, the parking brake is engaged without any effort from you. I think that's fantastic. So it has the outside temperature and stuff like that, but let's go ahead and use these buttons here and kind of scroll through just so we can get some more, just to show you that this is just part of a menu system that you can get information. You see little icons there at the bottom, hopefully. So as I move this around, you can see little icons. It shows you different information. So each one, depending on what screen you're in, you may be able to go up and down like this one. Scrolling to the right, that's just no up and down. That's just letting you know that the radar adaptive cruise control is ready to go, as well as the lane tracing assist. There's whatever your radio is doing and your trip and different features there, in which you can turn on or off. So I can scroll up and down and choose which ones I want. Any messages will show up there, and then it goes back to the original icon. So that'll give you an idea. There's some additional information there, but in the center that you can get to if you need to. Okay, so the dash, you can see that since the screen is higher than the dash, so that way the dash doesn't have to match the same height as the screen. So that's one of the benefits of having a disconnected screen, so it doesn't have to contour together. So you have a traditional volume tuned through the stations. So your home button, when you push that, you're greeted by this screen here, which is a split between, say, your drive computer, radio, and whatever's going on with your phone. So let's say we want to look at the radio, we could just push that, or we can go here to audio. So you can see your presets or favorites are here at the bottom, what station's on. You can also change your audio source here. AM, FM, satellite radio, USB, Bluetooth, and iHeartRadio, Slacker, NPR1, and auxiliary inputs. And you can reorder these if you want. That's the main audio sources, which is pretty good, I think. Go into the menu, which is different from the home, so you can see your audio, phone, apps, and also Apple CarPlay capability. Android Auto was supposed to be on board by 2020, but apparently it's been delayed in this particular vehicle, so it does have Apple CarPlay, but no Android Auto. Let's go to information. Check out the drive computer there. And you need to have your different settings here. Now this vehicle doesn't have the Entune system set up, so there's no navigation built in right now. But you notice you have physical buttons as well as the onboard buttons here that you can choose. You can also adjust your display here and turn the screen off if you want to. Push that to pull it back up. So that's nice. Sometimes you just don't want the screen in the way, or illuminated or whatever. You can of course adjust the brightness down like at nighttime and stuff too. The climate control is down here. Now you notice more gloss black around the places in which you touch, but that's just the way it is. You gotta wipe the screen anyway, might as well wipe everywhere. So your temperature, where you want the air to blow, is down here, and then by pushing that basically over and over again, you can see the different little indicators on where you want the air to blow. Recirculate the air, have fresh air come in, and then you have your fan speed, and your temperature shows up right there. You can have automatic, and it kind of does its own thing. You just set the temperature and forget about it. Then your rear, front and rear defrosters are here. When you put on the rear defrosters, it'll also turn on the heated side mirrors as well. So heated seat controls, it has a high and low for both the driver and passenger. And there's this little pocket under here, if you can see that. It's kind of smooth, hard plastics. And I guess you could put your cell phone or whatever in there, but I think it'd be better just to kind of put some cash, because it's about the same size as cash. So if you don't want to put your cell phone, you can grab the you can kind of like stack it up in there if you want. Kind of has the ability, let's say you didn't have rubber bands on it, you could just just kind of like reach in and pull out some cash when you need it. But that's a pretty good spot for cash, I think, or a cell phone or whatever. It's pretty handy. Or maybe change, you could reach in and pull it out. Okay, so you have a sport mode, traction control off button. The default is on. In case you need to turn it off, you push there. And here's your shifter. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse and check out the backup camera. So it has static guidelines, and you can see it's offset the camera, but it's I guess you can use the guidelines to really see where the center line is. Neutral, drive, and then there's your manual mode, where you can change to the speed ratios by bumping it like a ratchet shifter. And you'll know what gear you're in because it'll show up here on the screen. At any time you can go back to drive. So there's the electronic parking brake. Now you notice I put it in park, it automatically just lit up. So let's go ahead and take it out. See? It engages and disengages automatically because I have that setting turned on. That's my favorite setting. Now if you don't want to disengage it, you just put your foot on the brake and push it down. It's the rear wheels that's engaged. Then it has a brake hold feature, so if you're sitting at a stoplight and you got it in drive, it'll hold the brake for you, so you don't have to sit there and hold the brake the whole time. Cup holders are here, smooth hard plastics. It's mostly open there in the center portion. Now this armrest slides forward. Okay, so you can slide it forward, and that, for me, that's probably where I'd have to put it. And it's not big enough for the passenger. I'd have to hog it up myself. And it's soft to the touch, but it does bottom out very rapidly. So just a little bit of soft, and then it's hard as can be. All right, this lifts up, and it has a storage compartment here with a little felt lining in the bottom, 12-volt power supply, and a USB input. So for your Apple CarPlay, you would need to plug it in there. And you also have places for wires to go in and out of this compartment. And also, forgot to show you, this is where you have another USB port and auxiliary inputs here. It's kind of hidden out of the way. So you could, let's see here. Yeah, I got it mixed up. This is the input for the Apple CarPlay and input for your radio. This is charge only. So I guess you would have to put your cell phone there in addition to your cache to use your Apple CarPlay. Rear view mirror is manual day and night mode here. And you have some tap lights for the driver and passenger, quick reading light. This is for your sunroof. We'll get to that in a minute. You have a little roadside assistance button here that's covered up with a cover. And you can turn on all the interior lights by pushing that button, or all of them turn on with the door by having that engaged. So the visors have like this vinyl type material over them. Mirrors and little lights to turn on. Extenders here. So they don't shift out, they don't slide out. They just add to the coverage by having that slide. So like say if you had this slide over, it just shifts your coverage. It doesn't add to your coverage like this one does. Okay, so the sunroof has this shade that covers 100% of the light. Opens up, and so let's go ahead and slide it back. Push it again, it goes a little bit further back. Now let's go ahead and tilt it. Tilt it up, tilt it down. And of course we can always close the cover. Let's look at the visibility here in the back. You can see the headrest kind of get in the way. Of course you can fold the seats down if you need to, but I think it's overall pretty dang good. It's better than my car anyway. You do have the pillars back there and the headrest getting in the way, but that's just the way it is. Now it does have the blind spot monitor system as well as the backup camera and stuff to help you out. All right, so there you have it. 2020 already. So this is my second 2020 vehicle. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.